What's good, everyone? This is Miles per Hour, and today I want to talk about a very interesting stock, especially if you're interested in NFTs. And if you've been living under a rock for these last few months and don't know what an NFT is, it's a non-fungible token. Or in other words, it's referring to digital art, like JPEGs and GIFs, that are tied to the blockchain and sold online. I won't go over the details too much, but if you're interested in NFTs, there's plenty of videos online that explain it in greater detail. So yeah, if you want to invest in companies that are incorporating NFTs into their business model, your options are extremely limited right now, as a lot of these companies are private. However, the CEO of a company I'm going to be discussing in this video just dropped some very interesting news, proclaiming that his company is about to dive into the NFT space. Alright, ready for the company name? It's Funko. And if you've never heard of this company before, then you've probably seen this. And if this doesn't look familiar, then you're probably a worthless piece of loser who has no friends and will die alone, because only cool kids rock these on their desks. But even if you are a loser, judgment aside, I want to talk about Funko a bit and explain the reasoning behind why this stock would be a good investment if you believe in NFTs. And of course, I'll discuss the risks and things to be aware of as well before you decide to invest in them. So in short, Funko is a toy company that makes small plastic collectible figurines, and in all honesty, their profit margins are very thin. Their operating margins are actually under 10%. Why? Well, their business model isn't as simple as molding a piece of plastic and shipping it out. The entire process to make just one Funko Pop can take anywhere from 90 to 100 days from day one to design and all the way to manufacturing. Currently, 80 to 90% of Funko's sales are done through physical stores and third parties, which in turn take a nice cut of that profit from them. Margins are so thin because Funko is essentially giving away part of their revenue through licensing fees as well. These fees, which will never go away, mean that Funko pays companies like Disney and Nintendo a cut of the sales for every figurine that's sold, whether that's Mario, Pikachu, or Iron Man. But you need to understand why this company is hated by Wall Street. At the end of the day, their operating margins are so small because they have to jump through all these hoops just to get a Funko Pop into the hands of the consumer. So, since this company IPO'd in 2017, they actually had a really nice run up all the way to $30 a share in 2019. But the problems came soon after with inventory. The company had to guess how many Funko Pops their consumer base wanted because the true demand wasn't known to them. Funko eventually became overconfident as their sales climbed in 2019 and pushed out an insane amount of inventory. And guess what? Nobody bought nearly as many as they had thought, and the company had to take a nearly $15 million hit. And since their highs in 2019, the company's stock took a sharp decline and hit lows of around $3 during March of 2020. But keep in mind, this company doesn't make just Funko Pops. Over the last year, they began to diversify. They bought a board game company and they launched their other brand, Loungefly, an e-commerce store that sells backpacks, wallets, keychains, and other merch. But still, this is just a small percentage of their business model, so they're not nearly as diversified as one might hope. And why would Wall Street invest in an underdiversified company like Funko that was obviously poorly managed in 2019? Well, I've got some news for you. Funko actually did very well for themselves in 2020. Listen to this. During the fourth quarter, Funko's net sales soared 6% year over year to $226.5 million, as more folks scooped up merchandise from The Mandalorian and products from its Loungefly brand. Much of Funko's growth came in the United States, where sales jumped 18% to $171 million. The best quarter ever for Funko domestically. Net sales of non-figure products, including bags, wallets, and t-shirts, grew 30% in the quarter compared with the same period last year. Its Loungefly products jumped 51%. Funko is confident about the future, forecasting revenue in 2021 to grow between 25 to 30%. And Funko was even able to expedite their e-commerce strategy by years. They unveiled their e-commerce European website, Funko Europe, and are shipping out mass amounts of inventory through their direct-to-consumer digital model. And you know what this means? It means better profit margins without having your inventory sit on retail shelves. The revenue last quarter was even up, like I mentioned. And on top of this shift towards e-commerce, they will be getting into the NFT space. So I think we've come to the point now where a lot of major corporations see just how big NFTs are, and a lot of them, I'm positive, are in the works of creating a marketing plan centered around NFTs. And you know what? I think Funko is going to be among the very first out of the gate to release NFTs. And when I say NFTs, I mean either digital card packs or digital figurines, where they can monetize each pack of digital cards and gamify it by throwing in some ultra rare figurines in each pack, similar to Pokemon or sports trading cards, which I think is going to be a huge turning point for this company. Businesses have barely scratched the surface with NFTs, and I think we're just getting started. Now please, before you invest your life savings in this, remember, this is not financial advice, so please don't listen to me. Funko is what I would consider a very high-risk, high-reward play. All it would take is some bad news for this company's stock to tank. There's also been a lot of momentum behind the stock lately, and there's always a chance it could sink. But if you're in this company for the long haul, and you really believe in NFTs like I do, then yeah, I see this as a speculative and interesting investment that is definitely worth checking out. Alright guys, that's a wrap. Thanks everyone, and I'll catch you next time.